Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the second video on this rear door repair for this MAN TGE van. At the end of the last video we had everything in place ready to repair it. We were just waiting for the epoxy to turn up. That's here now. It's like a 2-pack glue basically for metal, so that's here. We're going to basically strip everything down and make sure everything's clean. We're going to weld the plate to the bracket and then epoxy that into the door, weld it to the door, and then hopefully that should be fine. It does need some adjustment. On the passenger side there is a gap between the hinge edge and the edge of the door, but on that side there isn't, and I can only assume that's where the door was cracked and it was flexing backwards and forwards. The whole thing has shifted in slightly, so I need to adjust the bracket slightly, push it out a bit, that should be okay. If you are enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and more growth, it just means we can do more with channel bits and pieces. I am going to be doing a couple of other videos shortly on one of the other cars. I bought some bits and pieces to do that, so that'll be coming up shortly as well. But at the moment we're just going to try and concentrate on getting this van repaired, and then we can make a proper start on the actual conversion of the van. So if I turn you around now, we'll have a look at this hinge. I can show you what I mean about the gap, and I think what I'm going to do is just literally push it out with a jack almost, and just push it out so it's got a bit of a gap on it. Once that's done, we should be good to go. Take it all apart and sort it out. So we'll get going on this and see you soon. Okay, so it is very bright out here today, which is why I was basically hiding in the van doing the intro there, but I don't know if you can see that there is no gap between the door edge and this hinge. There's literally no gap. I can't put that screwdriver in there, that's just tight. But if you look at the other side, there is actually a gap here, and I can put the screwdriver down between it. Basically what that means is this hinge plate is closer on the other side, so it's pushed into the door. So what we need to do is literally just push the door out a bit. So this panel here, you can see where it's slightly away there and it's tight here, so it just needs to be pushed this way slightly, but we can do that off the car. So this metal bracket and this bracket's all screwed in with these screws underneath, so that shouldn't move now. We'll take the door off, take all this off, and get that done. Okay, it's very bright out here today, but what I've done is I've put this metal plate in and it's held in with screws in the right place, so it's all in the right place together, except this whole thing, this needs to come this way slightly, and it'll help take this gap up. So if I undo this screw here, and I've got a bar here and a jack, and basically what I'm going to do is jack it so it pushes it out, and then hopefully that'll help pull this over and take up that gap and move it into the right place so that the hinge isn't touching the edge of this door here. So these are the components that I made. Basically this plate, and this is the bracket from the door itself, so that will basically sit on there. So what I'm going to do is glue and weld these together first, and then glue and weld them into the car, or into the door rather. So I've marked where the original spot welds were with a Sharpie, so I'm just going to clean these areas up now, make sure it's all good and clean, put some epoxy in the middle of it, weld where the marks are, and put that in the door then. So okay, I'll undo that. Okay, so the adhesive that I bought is this Plyo Grip structural epoxy system. It is a metal glue, effectively, 2-pack epoxy glue. It's designed to do the job, but I don't know how good it is. Like I said, it's one of the cheapest ones I could find on eBay, but what I wanted was a single cartridge, not a double cartridge, because again you have to then buy a different gun to use it and all the bits and pieces. This one just mixes in the actual nozzle. It's got the mixing system, so there's 2 separate containers inside this, and as you push it through, they 2 mix in the nozzle. So you've only got 60-minute working time with this, and so you've got to be fairly quick. Basically, get everything ready to do it. So I'm nearly ready now. I'm going to set this all up. We'll have to time lapse this because I won't have time to stop and start and just get it done. So get the camera set up on the tripod, and I'll just get on and do this now. This in without disturbing it too much. I've had a couple of practice goes. It's not the easiest panel to get in, unfortunately, but it should slide in there. So we're about there. Okay, so this is the bracket for the car. Just the car, I should say. Okay, so this is about as good as I'm going to get it, I think, with the melt work side of it. There's a few little pinholes here and there, but the more I grind it back, the more I fill and weld, it just keeps blowing holes. The metal is so thin, it's just bonkers. It's going to be a lot stronger than it was. The plate that's welded in there now is far bigger than the one that was on there originally, and the original plate is still on it as well, so it's almost got an extra skin on it now. If I was going to do this again, to be honest, I wouldn't do it this way. I would just cut this piece out and weld a new piece in. It would be a lot less work. So the next bit will be on the other side where this dent is. So there is a dent here, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I put a Sharpie mark on it just to highlight it. So I'm going to grind back the paint off there and get the spot welder out and have a go at trying to level that out. But it's getting there slowly. Okay, so pulled the dent out with the welder. That actually worked okay, apart from the earth clamp. I still can't get used to that, but I'll have to change that and get a better earth clamp on it. So there's a couple of high spots now where we've pulled out a little bit too far, but they're easy enough to knock back slightly once we know where we are with the filler and stuff. So on the other side, quick coat of primer. You can see a couple of pinholes in it. Like I said, I can't keep welding and grinding it, it's just getting no good. So I'll have a skimmer filler over that, a little bit of sealer just in that corner, and that'll be good to go. I'll try and get that done tonight and put some paint underneath it before we put it back on the car. Okay, so we gave it a quick skimmer filler, some primer and a bit of paint just to make sure there's paint underneath the actual hinge itself. The filler just helps even things out. I mean, it was fairly flat but not 100%, and you don't want to grind it flat because the metal's too thin anyway, so that's pretty much as far as the repair goes. The rest of it will be just tidying up the actual door frame and bits and pieces where obviously it was a builder's van before. There's a lot of marks and bits and pieces on it. That'll all be done next. So I think, to be honest, what causes the biggest issue with the cracking is the actual check strap. Now the check strap obviously sits into that recess here. Basically this hooks into there, but it's a really tight fit, and I think if you use the door to pull that into there is what puts the pressure on the actual hinges and cracks it. If I had a new van or a new door, or I really not sure I would use the check straps, to be honest. I don't know if there's any way of adjusting these to make them less aggressive, so you don't have to put so much pressure to push them in, but in my opinion that's what's causing the cracking issues on the doors. So that's about it for this repair on the door for now. The dent on the outside of the door still needs filling and still needs sorting out, but there's other dents on the outside of the van, and we'll probably end up painting the all bits and pieces together just in one hit. It's just easier. So that's going to be it for this episode. Please do like and subscribe if you can, it really does help us out. Next episode will either be on one of the other projects or the dent on this rear quarter, so not sure which is going to come first. They're both in the pipeline at the moment. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.